It was supposed to be another ordinary day in court. But when Tiffany, a spoiled young heiress with designer shoes and an entitled attitude, strutted into the courtroom, no one expected what would happen next. Her arrogance filled the air as she looked down on everyone, especially Judge Harris, a calm, wise man who had seen it all. Tiffany rolled her eyes, whispering to her lawyer that she didn't have time for this nonsense. But the judge simply adjusted his glasses, watching her with quiet patience. The audience sensed something was about to unfold, something that would change her forever. When she laughed at his warnings and called the court a joke, the room fell silent. Judge Harris didn't raise his voice. Instead, he leaned forward and said softly, "Miss, today, you'll learn the difference between privilege and respect." When Tiffany realized she couldn't charm her way out of the situation, her confidence began to crack. The judge's calm tone made her uneasy. "You think money makes you untouchable?" he asked. She crossed her arms, pretending not to care, but the tremble in her voice betrayed her. Judge Harris looked down at her case file, filled with reckless behavior and unpaid fines. "You've been given every chance," he said. "But not once have you taken responsibility." Tiffany scoffed again, muttering under her breath. That's when the judge made an unexpected move. Instead of sending her to jail or fining her, he gave her a sentence that stunned everyone: community service in one of the poorest neighborhoods in the city. "You'll spend a month where respect isn't bought, but earned," he declared. The first day of community service was a nightmare for Tiffany. The heat, the dirt, the noise, everything felt beneath her. She wore expensive sneakers and designer sunglasses, drawing stares from everyone. People there weren't impressed by her money or attitude. An elderly woman named Mrs. Jenkins, who ran the community kitchen, greeted her with a warm smile. "You can start by cleaning the tables," she said. Tiffany frowned, thinking it was ridiculous. But as she scrubbed the tables, watching hungry children laugh and share food, something inside her shifted. For the first time, she saw happiness without wealth, kindness without expectations. That night, she couldn't sleep. The judge's words echoed in her head: respect is earned. Days turned into weeks, and Tiffany started noticing the world differently. Mrs. Jenkins taught her how to serve meals with pride, how to listen without judgment. One day, a young boy offered Tiffany a small handmade bracelet, saying, "You helped my mom today." "Thank you." She froze, staring at the bracelet, realizing it was the first genuine thank you she'd ever earned. Slowly, her makeup faded, her fancy clothes no longer mattered. She began smiling, not because she wanted attention, but because she finally felt human. The same girl who once looked down on others was now humbled, working side by side with people she once ignored. When the month was over, Tiffany returned to court a different person. Her eyes no longer held arrogance but gratitude. Judge Harris watched her walk in quietly, head bowed, no jewelry, no designer bag, just a simple notebook in her hands. "Well, Miss Tiffany," he said. "What did you learn?" She took a deep breath and spoke softly, "That respect can't be demanded. It's given. And I didn't deserve it before." The courtroom fell silent. Even the judge seemed moved. "Then maybe justice has been served," he said with a rare smile. The audience felt it too, a rare moment of true transformation. Outside the courthouse, reporters surrounded her, expecting her to lash out or act dramatic. But Tiffany surprised everyone. "Judge Harris changed my life," she said sincerely. "He didn't punish me, he showed me who I really was." The clip went viral overnight. People across the country praised the judge's wisdom and Tiffany's courage to change. But she didn't care about fame anymore. Instead, she started volunteering regularly at the same community center. For the first time, her wealth meant nothing, her actions did. Months later, Tiffany launched a small charity called Earned Respect, aimed at helping young people from privileged backgrounds understand empathy through real experience. Judge Harris was the guest of honor at the launch. When she took the stage to thank him, her voice broke with emotion. "You sentenced me to serve others," she said, "but what you really gave me was a second chance to be human." The judge nodded quietly, knowing his lesson had reached far beyond the courtroom walls. Years later, Tiffany became an advocate for fairness and equality, using her influence to make a difference. She often visited schools to share her story, teaching young people that character matters more than status. The judge's words still guided her life. Respect, she would tell them, isn't about power. It's about how you treat people when you think no one's watching. And as she stood before crowds that once would have intimidated her, Tiffany knew she had finally earned something priceless, not money, not fame, but genuine respect.